Hi, I'm the Grow Boss. I write the Grow Book and Equipment Guide, and in this video, we're going to go over the top 5 things you need to know when you're deciding whether to grow in soil, coco, or hydro. Number 5. When making the choice between media or hydro, consider this. Plants in media grow about 35 watts a week, and plants in hydro grow about 50 watts a week. Plants grow faster in hydro. And if this is a 12-week process and you have a 400 watt light, then you have just enough light to grow in media, but not enough for hydro, and here's why. If it takes 12 weeks to veg and flower, and plants grow at about 35 watts a week in soil, then it's going to take you about 420 watts start to finish, which is why a 400 watts perfect for growing in media, because it'll get you there. But when you're growing with hydro, and your plants are growing at a rate of 50 watts a week, then at about week 4 flower, you're going to hit 400 watts worth of plant, and you're going to have run out of light. And halfway through flower is too early for that, and you'll get thin, wispy buds. It won't turn out the same when you run out of light. And that's why, if you're doing hydro, you need 600 watts of light, so you don't run out before the end. Think about it. A flashlight's great when you're walking, but not so much at 60 miles an hour. Your car headlights work great at 60 miles an hour, but not so much at 200. And that's why I say yield is based on light and quality on grower talent, because the last thing you want to do is crash just before you finish, which is why you don't do hydro with less than 600 watts. Let's go over some definitions here, because you need to know the difference between media, hydro, and DWC, deep water culture. First, anything that surrounds and protects the roots and only has to be watered every few days because it retains moisture is considered a media, and that could be soil, coco, or rock wool like this. Next is hydroponics, and in hydroponics the roots live in the air like with this hydroton, and they're not surrounded by anything that can hold moisture. This just holds it on the surface that the roots can pick off. And so with hydroponics, you have to water several times a day. And finally, there's DWC, or deep water culture. And that's when your roots actually live in the water and you're responsible for bubbling air into the water 24/7 to keep the roots alive. Number 3, and this is just a straight up warning, do not water rock wool like it's hydro. See, rock wool surrounds and protects the roots, and it holds water, so it's more like media than it is hydro. And I know you guys love to water this shit like it's hydro, but don't. And also, don't veg your plant in a rock wool cube like this, and then transplant it into a hydroton system like this, because this is a media, and this is hydroponics. And what happens is this. Your plant goes into the media here, and where the media meets the stalk, it gets calloused all the way around because the media is staying wet for too long. And what happens is this. You get sudden wilt, and it's because there's xylem inside the plant all the way around the stalk, and it's responsible for transporting the sugar that the leaves create during the day down to the roots during the photo dark period, which is why you should always have 8 hours of dark when you veg. But what happens then is the roots die back into an elephant foot shape like this, and they can't support the plant anymore, and then about halfway through flower you get what's called sudden wilt, where you'll walk into your garden and your plant will just be completely drooped down, but your media will still be heavy and wet, and that's because you choked off the xylem because your media was wet all the time when you were in a hydro system, and you shouldn't have been watering like that. So do not, and I can't be clear enough about this, do not combine media-based grows with hydroponics. When choosing between soil and coco, there's 2 things you should know. Soil comes with nutrients, and coco does not, and soil tends to brick up in a way that even the bottom bag of coco doesn't. Even this bottom bag is springy and spongy, but because coco is more airy than soil, it doesn't hold as much water. And although the roots do like the extra oxygen, you do have to water more frequently with coco than with soil. Before I tell you the number 1 thing you need to know about the difference between hydro and soil, I want you to know this. Buy my grow book and my No More Grow More Fat cards, because you guys come in with the same problems day after day. And it's always the same thing. Too much light, too much water, and too many nutrients. That's why you should buy my grow book and my No More Grow More Fat cards, because I already know every way you're going to fail, and they're in there. And finally, the number one thing you need to know about the media that we sell in the hydroponic stores is this. Here at our stores, all the media has been pasteurized and composted, and there's no bugs or mold or mildew or any problems with it. And that's why the media we sell in hydroponic stores is $20 and more, and the media that you can buy at the hardware stores are $6, because they're meant for outdoors. Because the last thing you want to have happen 48 hours after you water is have all the bugs fly out in your indoor garden and they end up around you while you're eating dinner. It's a disaster. Trust me, if bad growers can kill their crops in anything, and good growers grow good crops in anything, and if good growers can grow in hydro with no media at all, how much difference can the media really make? Remember, yield is based on light, quality on grower talent. And there's a customer that blames the death of their crop on everything in my store, and there's another customer that swears by everything in their store. Okay, I'm the Grow Boss. I write the Grow Book and Equipment Guide and these No More Grow More cards. You can find my books at your local hydro store, at eBay, Amazon, or my website, thegrowboss.com. And if you liked the video, don't forget to click the like button and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. And I know getting started can be tough, and I know getting started is expensive. So call me before you quit.